Hello, everybody. Thank you very much for being here. Let me tell you my story. So, before coming here, in Czech Republic, I was living in Switzerland, in a different school, with a totally different educational system. In the French academic system, the only thing that matters is the grade. People are judged by the grades. They are judged by the course they are taking, either scientific or else. Scientific classes are valued more than the economics, art classes, or history classes. Yes, basically, your only value as a student was schoolwork. So, when I arrived here in an international school, and I was absolutely shocked by the number of activities students were able to take. It was all about exploring oneself and becoming someone better. It's even a requirement for the international diploma to actually be part of clubs. So I started to join clubs because I wanted friends. Yes, I'm a little bit ashamed of that, but it's okay now. So yes, I went into a club and then another club. But soon, it was not my main goal anymore. Because it was fun, so I wanted to try as many activities as possible. I literally tried as much club as I could. The community service club, the language club, the math club, the alley club, the book club, the Vietnamese club. And at the end of last year, I somehow found myself in St. Louis, USA, in the World Robotics Championship competition, the first take challenge for small robots. Yes, for me, a French student in Czech Republic, it was quite huge. But let me pause for a second and ask you, what do you imagine when I say robotics competition? Starting from very far away, maybe do you imagine impressive men that have done wonderful technological discoveries like Mark Zuckerberg, Bill Gates, or Steve Jobs, that because of their work on programming and computers, they're actually done something wonderful. I don't really fit in this category, right? Not yet. So maybe coming a little bit closer to the situation, what do you imagine when I say a robotics member? Maybe you imagine a nerd, a gamer, always in his parents' room, working on some programming that nobody really understands. But yes, how many of you actually ever thought of joining a robotics club? Raise your hand. Yes, me neither. I actually never really thought I would join a robotics club because of all of those stereotypes that I was full of. But still, I joined the club, and because my French pushed me. But anyway, I joined the club, and when I arrived there, 3 positions were available, either as programmer, builders, or logistic. I personally didn't know how to program anything else than Snake on my calculator, and building was already taken by a bunch of nerdy teenage boys, always in the room, like working on some stuff that I really don't know really what. But anyway, so I joined the last category of the group, logistic, because I kind of thought it was the easiest. Well, I was wrong. If we won the competition, the award here in Czech Republic, it was partly because of us, because logistic did an excellent job. What is fun and what is shocking is actually that we never really touched the robot. Still, we still feel like important member of the club, as useful as the other. And this is because of this, the engineering notebook. So let me explain what actually this is. This is a record that Logistic is keeping through the year, explaining all the challenges, the success, and the difficulties in making a robot. Oh my God, it was hard to make. Because it was a real challenge to make it, because we had to compute all of those information from the different branches, the programming, the building, and I literally became a parasite, always behind the builders and programmers, asking them what they were doing with the robot, to make what, and what was the meaning behind it. And it was hard because long discussions were needed, a lot of discussions. Our team missed effective communication. We missed teamwork, and this is why the beginning of the club was a difficulty for everybody. But we worked together and we started to communicate with each other. And by always listening, the situation got better. It was still not perfect. To be honest, a fun story, we actually finished the notebook in just 2 minutes before the competition, filling in the last part, as many other clubs. And worst, we even discovered how incomplete it was. The programmer told the judge that they tried to make a color detector camera, which is basically a camera on the robot that will help the robot to see colors and move toward them by itself. A complete failure. But still, they tried it. And it was an information we never heard about, but that would have been perfect in the engineering notebook. Because without it, the color detector camera was not on the robot, and because it was not recorded, there were no way to know that actually we really tried it. The question, and this is to say that even if robotics is building robots, it's not only the point here, because it's also important to communicate effectively what you tried in real life with other areas that are not only related to robotics. And for that, it was something that we missed again. We did not understand yet how important this book was, because this book was the history of the club. And if, again, to conclude, if robotics is building robots, what is important is not only the subject itself, and not only the result itself, but how you reach to the result, and how you communicate what you did and what you tried. And this, I did not learn it in school that separated learning into field. I learned it in a club. I learned that the process was as important as the result in a club. Luckily, it was still enough to actually win the competition, and we overcome all the other bridges that we had. It was a dream becoming true, because nobody was really believing it, not even us, and therefore nobody planned anything to actually continue the journey to the next stage. But still, we raised the money, we overcome other issues, and we built a new robot. All of that to the final competition, which we lost. But that's a detail. Because now when I'm looking back, I know that we have the most important of it. We have the experiences, we have the memories, and we have the process. We have been through the process and we know it. I went there with a team of 8 other students and 2 of my teachers. Oh my God, those people were amazing. We faced problems, like not meeting the robot requirements for the fields, but we solved it. We built, we programmed, and we designed. And now, it's my 3rd year in this school, and I've never been so happy I actually moved from Switzerland. Because until now, what I learned in classroom was only the academic theories. And for the first time, I learned how to apply those skills to real-life experiences. It's in club that you learn empirically how the world works. And at the end, I learned a lot in robotics. Robotics told me how to behave with people. Robotics told me how teamwork was important. Robotics told me how to deal with sponsors and raise funds. Robotics taught me how to manage a business. And how to overcome failure and how to accept defeat. But the most important of all, robotics taught me how the real-life experiences were as important as the academics. In classes, you learn each subject separately, but it's in club that you have the ability to mix those knowledge and actually talk with different people that you don't talk with generally. And it's in club that clubs mixes the ages, give you the opportunity to talk with as much with adults than with teenagers, and to end up with a solution, a result. So if I have a message to pass to all of those other students that are so focused on grades, and don't see the other opportunities school is giving them, as I did, is to tell you that you should never hesitate to create a club that will challenge yourself. And because the biggest challenges are not always in classes, they are not always in the activities teachers will give you. They are in the real life experiences. The schools knows it, and this is why they offer so many after-school activities and clubs. But the students do not always do it. The students do not always understand it. It's in club that you really instant club that you really discover those real-life high school experiences. And for me, it was in robotics. So at last, I would like to use this opportunity to say thank you to all the other members of my club from St. Louis, from this year, that are so wonderful. Because at the end, it's you who made me a better person. So thank you very much.